order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from trustees.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there won't be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
Sounds like something out of a novel named Race Rate Well for Dolton Mayor. Imagine yourself at the center of your own political thriller, facing lawsuits, restraining orders, and public outcry, all while fighting to preserve your grasp on power. Henyard Tiffany. This is actual life, and it's becoming increasingly messy by the day. So what precisely is happening with Henyard, and how did she end up in the midst of this political firestorm? We're going to delve into the pandemonium, dissect the current conflicts, and provide you with all the juicy facts on her contentious behavior, the mounting legal issues surrounding her, and the rising hostilities in the Dolton Village.
Making a late appearance at the Dolton Village Board meeting this evening. That meeting was being held at the Park District building since Village Hall cannot legally accommodate the crowds at a typical meeting.
Let's go back to the original source of this whole thing, board meetings. They may seem dull at first, but trust us, here is where things really become heated. Typically, a village board meeting is ordinary and routine. Local government representatives convene to deliberate on budgets, enact laws, and ensure the efficient operation of the community in the state of Illinois, where Tiffany Henyard reigns. The situation is far from typical.
This lawsuit, on top of all the other lawsuits, is a waste of the taxpayers' money.
Henyard has been in the news for months, but not because of her leadership abilities. It all began when she insisted on holding board meetings at Village Hall. Sounds straightforward enough, right? Well, not so fast. The Illinois Attorney General's office says that Village Hall simply lacks the space to accommodate the increasing number of attendees, of people who wish to attend these meetings. In fact, a state law mandates a larger venue to guarantee that every member of the community has an opportunity to participate. The Park District fills this need, and trustees have been holding their meetings there in order to abide by the law and guarantee that locals aren't left out in the cold.
The mayor took steps to correct those things that the Attorney General required. And so we believe that for that reason, the meeting was supposed to have been here.
However, here's the real kicker. Henyard has consistently disregarded these orders, determined to hold her meetings in Village Hall regardless of the consequences. She has attended Park District meetings simply to spark controversy, and at one meeting, she abruptly left after showing up late and encountering a. Can you believe that the mayor shows up to what she deems an illegal meeting only to be publicly jeered by the same people she's supposed to represent? She claimed to be the mayor of the village before being heckled out of the room to a chorus of cheers from the crowd.
Next thing is my veto. So I got several vetoes here that the board.
You would think that following her humiliation, Tiffany Henyard would back off and reconsider her course of action, but instead she went all in, suing the Park District trustees and charging them with convening unlawful meetings. Despite the obvious differences, Village Hall is the only acceptable location for village business. Alerts from state authorities. Max Solomon, her lawyer, is by her side, urging the case forward. But let's be honest, is Henyard genuinely attempting to enforce the law here, or is she just attempting to hold onto her position of authority and control over the meetings?
Also new tonight, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is suing some village trustees over Monday's meeting.
The power play is obvious to the trustees, as Jason House, one of the more outspoken trustees, has been working to maintain harmony and transparency in these meetings. He says they meet in the Park District because it's bigger. Residents can truly attend meetings without being crammed into an overly small space in accordance with the open meetings law, but Horde's refusal to comply has made every meeting feel like a circus, with her arriving late, making lofty pronouncements, and then storming out, leaving everyone to pick up the pieces.
Board meetings, one held at Village Hall, one held at a Park District, and now there's a lawsuit, and I talked to the attorneys for both sides.
And this is only the start of Henyard's legal troubles. In addition to the drama surrounding the meetings, she is also dealing with more serious legal issues. A Cook County judge recently issued a restraining order against her, preventing her from appointing important people to the village's leadership team. Henyard attempted to. The trustees refused to accept the appointment of a new police chief, village attorney, or village administrator without board permission. They launched a lawsuit, and the judge sided with them, thereby telling Henyard that he cannot make these decisions on his own.
The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
The restraining order was intended to rein her in, but Henry, well, she doesn't appear to be all that interested in abiding by the guidelines. Instead, she has persisted in advancing her goal by designating individuals to these positions in any case, acting as though the court ruling never happened. It almost seems as though she is defying the judicial system and straddling the thin line between defiance and catastrophe.
It's shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
It's up to you that right. And if you thought it was awful, wait until you hear about the FBI probe. Federal investigators are apparently looking into Tiffany Henyard for suspected financial mismanagement and misappropriation of municipal cash. There are rumors going throughout the community. The claims that Henyard has been padding the coffers of her closest cronies and bribe's shady contracts are examples of how she has been abusing her power to benefit not just herself, but also her inner circle.
Or the administration can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily.
The most shocking part is that, allegedly, her boyfriend has turned against her for spilling the tea in court. After supporting her for so long, he apparently had enough and took the stand, disclosing some extremely damning information. He testified that Henyard has been using public funds for personal expenses rather than. He did not stop there. He also said that Henyard has been awarding contracts to friends and family with little to no oversight. This is a classic case of favoritism, and it is all blowing up right in front of her. He claimed that she has been living an extravagant lifestyle, taking lavish vacations, making luxury purchases, and enjoying all the perks that come with it.
Good day, huh? All right. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all.
When her own lover stood up for her, can you imagine the betrayal Henyard must have felt? According to her sources, the courtroom scenario resembled a scene from a soap opera, with Henyard losing her composure. Yelling at him in shock after creating such a show, being accused of corruption by your political adversaries is one thing, but when your partner dumps you, that's drama on a whole new level.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some book that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
And let's not forget about the bribes. According to the boyfriend's evidence, Henyard has been taking payments from nearby developers and contractors in exchange for choices made by the municipality that are favorable. The citizens of Dolton are slowly learning about a wider pattern of corruption that includes all of this. Outrage on upset social media has skyrocketed, with locals requesting explanations and an urgent probe. People have been venting their displeasure with the way the hamlet has been governed by using the hashtag Henyard, resigned to share their thoughts.
Henyard in court today over illegal appointments she allegedly made for several positions inside the village, among them.
High's actions have been the final straw for many people who have been witnessing their village sink into chaos for months with no end in sight. Even some of her most devoted admirers are beginning to lose faith in her. Doubt her ability to lead. She has presented the entire situation as a politically driven attack, saying that her rivals are trying to harm her. But with every new discovery, it is more and more difficult for anyone to stand up for her.
Our security firm, we made sure they had wands, and we also told our board to come upstairs due to the fact they had several ways to exit out of the building.
In addition, the trustees are determined to carry forward with village business despite Henyard's actions, so they are not giving up. However, it is difficult when someone in a position of power is deliberately working against the trustees. With Kenneth continually putting a wrench into the proceedings, it feels like the trustees are fighting a losing battle. At one point, a judge even said that Kenneth's frequent defiance of court orders had put them in a difficult situation. When the mayor of a village openly disobeys court orders with the possibility of going to jail hanging over her head, It's almost as though she's daring the judge to follow through on his threat, pushing the boundaries to see how far she can go before facing actual consequences. Henyard was warned that she could go to jail if she disobeyed the restraining order.
I want to thank my two trustees, Trustee Andrew Holmes and Trustee Stan Brown, for showing up.
The village of Dolton is currently facing a difficult situation due to ongoing legal disputes, public scandals, and a growing mistrust between Henyard and the trustees. Residents are feeling disillusioned and uncertain about the future of their village, with many wondering if Henyard will be forced to step down or if she will continue to fight the village's finances if she is found guilty of financial mismanagement, despite the overwhelming evidence against her. The potential consequences are enormous, and if Henyard is forced to resign or is removed from office, it may lead to a crisis in Dolton's leadership. If the village chooses an interim mayor, who knows what happens? In spite of everything, Henyard continues to paint herself as the victim, believing that it is all part of a smear campaign launched by her political opponents. This is especially true given the high level of tension already present. There is also the financial fallout to think about as well. If it turns out that Henyard has been misusing funds, the village may be in dire straits, and its residents may have to pay the price for her mismanagement. Final attempt to unseat her before the next election, she has gone on record claiming that she is the victim of unjust targeting and that she is only attempting to do what is best for the village. But as the evidence mounts, it is becoming more and more difficult for anybody to believe that story.
My police chief,
Time will tell if Henyard is eventually held accountable for her acts, or if she finds a way to maintain her position in spite of everything that has come to light. But one thing is certain, the residents of Dolton will be anxiously observing and waiting to see what happens next. One online comment effectively summed up how this high-stakes drama plays out. Speaking of the people, they had a lot to say about the whole affair. Tiffany Henyard was given a sizable portion of the pie, but rather of working hard to achieve her goals, she paid others to tell her what she already knew. There is a lot of doubt about whether Henyard will ever suffer any serious penalties for her conduct. So what do you think will happen in the end? Another person commented, "How gorgeous she looked doing it. Ouch," adding, "I still don't think she will serve a day in prison. Be held responsible, or will she manage to get out of this situation? If she does go down, what will it imply for Dolton's future?" Share your opinions with us in the comment section below.